Hi there, it's Donna from Taffy Crafting, and this is going to be quite a quick video because it's pretty much the warmest day of the year and I am boiling in this room and I've had to turn the fan off. Today I'm taking part in a blog hop and the theme is Christmas in July, which is just bonkers when it's just so hot and we're looking at Christmas themed paper. But there we are. This is the Gingerbread and Peppermint designer series paper. It's 6x6. It's in the new Stampin' Up mini catalogue, which goes live right at the beginning of August. And in there we've got the colours that we've got are Old Olive, Real Red, Cinnamon Cider. So we've got these things which are really good to fussy cut out. And then we've got those lovely white, green and red designs. So we have Christmas baubles, snowflakes. They kind of look like candy things. That's nice as a background. So great for Christmas cards. There's a cinnamon cider, and I really like that because I love a polka dot. And we've got some Christmas trees. They're ideal to fussy cut out as well. And you could fussy cut those as well if you've got the patience to do things that are slightly smaller. I don't mind fussy cutting. I quite like it. It's quite therapeutic. So the paper that I've used, and I've only got a little bit of it left, I'm using this background paper, and then I've also used some paper in the same stack and I fussy cut these snowflakes. So I fussy cut 3 of them, 1 red and 2 green, and you'd have to look really super closely to see that I fussy cut that. I don't actually think I've made a bad job of that at all. Better than buying dies, I think. So this is what I've got. I've got a card base that measures 11.5 by 4 1/8, so it's half a piece of A4, and then I've scored it in the middle at 5 3/4, folded it along that score line, and I'm going to burnish that as well. Now, I only have 1 Christmas stamp. I deliberately not bought a lot of stuff because I tend to overbuy and end up with too much. So I'm just taking it easy. But this goes live at the beginning of August and is available right up until the end of December. I know that people like to get their Christmas card making in nice and early. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I'm the person that's still making cards about a week before Christmas and then trying to get them in the post. This is a piece of Real Red cardstock. This measures 4 inches by 5 5/8, and I'm just going to stick that on my card. I've got a 10th fold card. I haven't chosen that design for any particular reason. So put that on there and it gives you just a very small border all the way around. And I'll use my bone folder to disperse the glue underneath that. So it's going to stand like that. And then I've got this paper, got that on the back, but I'm going to use that side. And I'm just going to get some glue on there. It's so nice to be crafting again. I've been so busy and I've had a real gap in my crafting, and it's just nice to get back to it. And then again, just disperse the glue underneath. It's such a super hot day. I mean, it's only 9 o'clock in the morning, but it's already warm. Now, I've used this punch to create these labels. Okay, now I'll show you how I'm going to do those, just so you can see. So let's put that to one side for a moment. So I've got this is just a scrap piece of white card, and I'm going to trim that down to, what am I going to trim that down to? 3/4 of an inch. Because the sentiment that I'm using wouldn't fit in a 5/8, but it fits in a 3/4 of an inch. Now, when I did this, originally, I used a piece of real red that was 1 inch. It was too big. So I'm going to trim this to 7/8 of an inch. Now, I've just got 2 long strips at the moment, because what I'll do is I'll cut them down in a minute to the length that I want. I can't remember what this one is called, so I'm just going to quickly drag out the catalogue so I can show you. In my blog post, and there's a link to my blog post in the description bar, there will be all of the details of all of the products. So here are our punches. These are on page 149, and this is the lovely labels Pick a Punch. That's what I've got there. Now, the 3/4 of an inch one fits perfectly into that middle. In fact, I'm going to use this one, and that just slides in there, and there we have a nice pretty shape at the end. Now with this one, it doesn't fit in the inside one, but it doesn't fit in the outside one, so what we have to do is just slot that in. I've got a squeaky table, sorry, and then you just line it up here so it did just lose its position, and then when you're happy with that, punch it, and then you have that left. And then what we'll do is just layer them up like that. So before, I'm still not going to trim these down to size yet. I've got one Christmas sentiment, and it's this one, Warm Wishes for a Happy Christmas, and that's from the Best Year Cling stamp set. And when the new catalogue, the little mini catalogue goes live, I'll probably get a couple of stamp sets. So I'm just going to use a piece of scrap card just to keep everything steady. Oh, this squeaky table, it's going to need some WD-40 or something on it. And I'm just going to stamp that there, like that. And we're now ready to assemble our card. So there's my card. I'm not going to stick these down yet. What I'm going to do is just rearrange these. Now for this to be able to fit on there, it didn't work like that. Well, it did, but you could have had some overlapping and it would have covered up the words. So you need to make sure that your snowflakes don't have the point upwards or downwards. Like that. And then this one we'll put in there like that. So it will cover it, but there's nothing wrong with that. I don't have an issue with that. But what I want these to do is just to stand up a little bit. So I'm going to deal with this first. So trim this to where you want it, just with a pair of scissors is absolutely fine. And then put it onto your other piece. Just layer it like that until you are happy with the gap that you have at the end. I'm happy with that. And then trim it just so that the red is overlapping. Like that. Super simple. So using mini dimensionals, and I like to use a pair of tweezers with these, just personal preference. This room is just getting hotter and hotter. Oh, I need to get crafting quicker before I melt. And then I'm just going to line that up there like that. And then if you feel that you need to trim that off a little bit more, which I do, and I just want to take a slither off it, that's me being super fussy. Right, so we've got that, and I'm going to stick a little bit of sparkle on there. So I've just got these rhinestones. I'm just going to put that there. Just wanted a little bit of a twinkle on there. So I'm not going to stick that down yet. I'm just going to put that to the edge so it lines up, and then I'm going to start putting these down. So let's start with this one. So this is kind of like thick paper, so it's not going to, this is going to need a lot of dimensionals, which is just going to give me heart palpitations. You know that I don't do a lot of dimensionals. Oh, it's going to need one over here as well. 7 dimensionals per snowflake. Oh my word. But it needs it just because the paper isn't sturdy enough. So let's put that, I want to get that out of the way for a minute. I'm going to put that there. I like the fact that it stands up, it just gives it some dimension. Right, so let's quickly get these on. And then what I'll do is do these off camera because it's a bit boring to watch. And I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Okay, so I've got dimensionals on my red one and dimensionals on the other green one. So this other green one, I'm just going to pop on there like that, just trying to keep the distance here the same, but do you know what? No one's going to check. No one's going to get their ruler out. This one will have there, so it's quite tight on here. It does just fit in. And put that there like that. Now this we're going to put there, and it does overlap it, but I'm really not bothered about that whatsoever. I'm quite happy with that. We could have fitted it underneath, but then you lose this here, so that's what I'm going with. Now we're going to have to put, because this is raised, we'll put 2 dimensionals on here. I've already used 21 dimensionals on this project already, but it takes a really long time to get through a whole pack of these. It honestly does. And then just 1 here and 1 at the end. And then also don't forget to use the edges of your dimensionals as well. Nothing goes to waste. I've already taken that off, so let's put that there like that. And that is our finished card. So lots of dimension on there. I really like that, the fact that those snowflakes are raised. These are great for fussy cutting. And there you have it. If you just spent an afternoon fussy cutting and then the next day you just put all your cards together, that would take no time at all. So thank you ever so much for joining me. And I'll be back again soon with another project for you. See you soon. Bye bye.